Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back with another AlphaStar 1 versus 1 video. Should be a good one here today as we have AlphaStar playing Zerg in the top left. And taking on AlphaStar, it's going to be a Masters Terran. So should be a good match between these two. As I always say, I don't think we've ever had a bad AlphaStar match, even when it's failing horribly. But sometimes it's also making sick plays, so we'll just keep an eye out for that in this game and see where the game's going to go from there. Alright, so the map is King's Cove. It's a TVZ, so a little bit of variation. I honestly don't know what we're going to see coming out of the Terran player. AlphaStar is pretty predictable for the most part. It can play just generally defensive, make a lot of drones, and then go for a timing attack sometimes. We don't see it make a ton of things like mutas or anything like that, or say a ton of, I don't know, infestors or swarm hosts. There's a lot we don't see from AlphaStar. However, it does sometimes have outlier games, so we could actually see it bring out a new style. You never know though, but one of the main things about AI is that it is pretty consistent. That's basically how it works. So positive reinforcement, so we'll just see what AlphaStar is going to do in this game. Terran just going for a Reaper Expand and an SCV Scout behind it. If you play Starcraft 2, it's generally a good idea to scout all the time, no matter what. No matter what, as scouting is just very, very important. And yeah, we'll just keep an eye on where this game is going to go. For now, though, just before things really start to heat up, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these AlphaStar commentaries, make sure to slap that like button. Let's try and find some. Okay, this Zerg has 4/3, so let's aim for 43 likes on this video. As AlphaStar had a little bit of extra drones in that gas there for a second. And of course, if you're new to the channel, you enjoy these AlphaStar videos, you keep clicking them in your recommended or whatever, press that subscribe button. And for now, let's just see where the game is going to go from here. Reaper's going to run right by those two Lings who are trying to be a little bit sneaky and cheeky. One of the Lings gets picked off, but the Reaper's going to head towards the natural, just set its sights on a drone. We'll see. Is he going to get a drone? And the answer is no. AlphaStar is pretty darn good at keeping its drones alive at this point. However, this Terran seems to be doing a pretty good job microing this Reaper. Knock on wood. We don't want to see him lose this Reaper as I say that. And oh man, is he going to lose this Reaper? Oh, AlphaStar moves the Queen just out of position when I think it could have got that Reaper. Now the one Ling is going to cross the map. This Marine is going to be getting microed back here, and the Ling will die. But pretty normal builds from these two players. Oh, the Terran, though, gonna get AlphaStar's drone. That's a nice start. SCV blocking, making sure that hatchery didn't get up. AlphaStar is immediately just going to take a different expansion. Just takes the forward expansion, curious enough. Now, this is generally pretty risky because it's more forward, so it's harder to defend and whatnot. Aggressively taking a third hatchery isn't bad, but if you're just going to play a normal macro game, this isn't the base you usually want to take as the Zerg, but AlphaStar was just like, your Reaper's going to delay that hatchery for ages, so I just need to take a base now. And yeah, we'll see where the game's going to go from here. Hellions are out for the Masters player. AlphaStar is sending two Lings out on the map as well, so a little bit of posturing here from both players. We'll see if the Hellion or Reaper is able to get anything done. Probably not, due to the Queens. But then the Ling's going to run on in here, and the Hellions, the Terran player, will cook them up. So not a lot going on this game just yet. AlphaStar is making 10 Lings at the minute, but nothing else. Spore Crawlers on the way in order to defend versus potential Banshees, potential Liberators, and in this case, it's going to be potential Battlecruisers, which should be a fun thing to watch. AlphaStar taking on a Battlecruiser rush. I don't know how well it's going to defend this build. I don't think I've ever seen AlphaStar defend versus BCs perfectly or anything like that. It's just such an odd build. It's unsure of what to do. Now, a tank is on the way behind this. A Viking is on the way behind this. So this Terran player is going to be taking it very, very safe, his approach to this game. And then we'll see where it's going to go from there. Viking working away on this Overlord. Queens on the way for AlphaStar. It did make Spore Crawlers, which will help out when the BC inevitably teleports across the map, but it will be a minute or two before the Battlecruiser is done, as this Terran's really committing to everything else before that. Getting up the Siege Tank, getting up the Viking, making a third command center. It's not like this is the quickest Battlecruiser rush you can possibly go for. Hellion and Reaper are also going to get caught, so that's a nice cleanup for AlphaStar. Not having to worry about those units anymore, as the Terran player loses all 4 Hellions, gets minimal damage done, as a matter of fact. So far, a pretty good opening for AlphaStar. Just the one main question is, how well will it deal with the Battlecruiser? It's got 7 Queens to its name to deal with that. It's making another Spore Crawler at the 3rd base. The one concern is that AlphaStar can kind of be a little bit derpy with how it moves and places its Spore Crawlers at times. So we'll see if that becomes a factor this game. But then the Terran is just going to be going into mech behind this. So we'll see how the game's going to progress from here, as we are 6 minutes into the game. Battlecruiser going to be finishing up pretty darn soon, and then it'll teleport across the map. 1-1 is on the way for the Zerg player. Going to have that attack for the Queens, the Roaches, Carapace for all the Zerg units. And then the Terran player just getting up double armory, double factory on the way, 3rd command center. So just a greedy meching Terran behind this with the 1 BC. No Yamato cannon was made as well, so this isn't a big commitment to the Battlecruisers. And then there we go. The Battlecruiser teleports across the map, jettisons to above the coral reefs there, and is going to set its sights on some drones. Queens are at the front, but they are not in position to help deal with this Battlecruiser. Looks like the Terran is actually going to try and focus down the Spore Crawler. Changes his attention towards the drone. The BC is taking a fair bit of damage from the Spore Crawler, so AlphaStar is going to lose some drones, but then everything else should be fine. It's actually going to lose a fair few drones, losing 9 drones in total. The BC might actually die, though, and it does. So all of a sudden, that is absolutely worth it for AlphaStar in order to lose those drones, but then gets the BC as compensation. That was a favorable trade for the Zerg. And now if we take a look here, AlphaStar is actually maybe going to be going on the offensive here, making some Roaches, making a couple of Ravagers to go with it, but then droning up behind it. So not too aggressive, apparently. And AlphaStar is actually going up to 5 bases already. Very, very greedy economically. At the 7-minute mark, that is very, very aggressive. Roaches and Ravagers going to be crossing the map, going to be putting the Fear of God into this Terran, who doesn't actually have a lot to defend this. I mean, there's a Battlecruiser, there's some Siege Tanks, but there isn't that much else for the Terran to defend this. Unfortunately, there is the 1 Battlecruiser, which doesn't really have a counter in the sky, so without this Battlecruiser, if AlphaStar was going for a big attack, this Terran could just die. We saw the Terran knew this too. He was worried about a big attack, so he pulled the SCVs away from the 3rd, and that's actually a common thing to worry about if you're a Terran. Just timing attacks after you go for a Battlecruiser rush. We take a look here now, though. Hellions and the Battlecruisers cross down on the map. More Ravagers are on the way for AlphaStar. Going to try and hit some nice corrosive biology, maybe hit that BC, zone out these Hellions and whatnot. All the while, AlphaStar is just making a lot more Roaches, making a lot more units. The Queens are even coming to join up here. And all of a sudden, these Hellions and Cyclones might need to get out of dodge. The Hellions and Cyclones actually being caught a little bit by the Lynx, so some of them are going to go down. And is AlphaStar just going to counterattack here? It's making nothing but Roaches. The Terran player has got out a few tanks back at home. Only a couple, though, so this could actually be very concerning for the Terran, as more and more Zerg is going to cross the map. AlphaStar, with its supreme macro, is going to be maxed out. Let me tell you, this Battlecruiser, these tanks are going to have a tall order to stay alive now. The Hellions might want to morph into Hellbats just to be a better buffer for these units. More Cyclones on the way out. I really think if you're the Terran, though, you need Siege Tanks to defend this spot. The Battlecruiser being a pain to the Zerg, though, forcing AlphaStar to move into these Siege Tanks. This extra command center finishes up. AlphaStar is eating a lot of Siege Tank shots right now, but more and more Zerg is spilling forward. siege tanks start to eat corrosive ball. One of them falls, the second falls. There's simply one tank left as SCVs have been pulled into the fray, and it looks like the Terran is just going to wear thin. AlphaStar with a big old attack, I think is just going to win this game now, as opposed to going into the late game against this Terran. Look at this, the Terran going to be microing one the Cyclone. That ain't going to cut it, and this is a classic case of being a little bit too greedy. Zerg timing attacks like this are very common against Terrans who go for BC rushes, and AlphaStar has just slapped this Terran down so far. I'm not saying there's no chance for the Terran, but it's going to be tough. More siege tanks are on the way. The Terran's down to 45 workers, which it's not the end of the world. It's a very low number of workers, but it's not like no workers. So we see AlphaStar move on in. If the Terran can hold on, maybe this game can go longer, but for now, we see Corrosive Ball hitting one of the siege tanks. The other is getting as many shots off, along with the BC and the Liberator, but there is just too much, and AlphaStar is gonna hit that nice timing attack against the Battlecruiser Rush. So a bit of a shorter video today, but that's the nature of StarCraft 2. Some games are short, some games are long. Whatever you want to say about that. And if you enjoy this video, make sure to press that like button. If you happen to be new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the Discord to join the community. And of course, big thanks to those of you that do support the channel via the memberships. I'll see you guys next time. This has been LaughNgamez.